All right. Oh, there we go. Recording in progress. Welcome to those of you that are signing in here to our Character Strong webinar. Thank you for coming. My name is Nick Barbera. I'm the middle school teacher on special assignment. I've been at Union Middle School for the last 11 years as a math teacher, and then in this role the last 2 years. So we really thank you all for coming. I'm here with Taylor Banzett, one of our UMS counselors, and Randy Martino, who's the Student and Staff Wellness and Community Relations person from the district. So thank you, Randy, and former principal over at Dartmouth Middle School. So we're really lucky to have him here with us. We're here tonight to share with you all our Character Strong curriculum. This is our SEL curriculum that we're implementing site-wide through all of our social studies classes. So all of our students are getting a chance to experience this great curriculum in social studies once a week. And we're going to tell you a little bit more about it now. And this will all be recorded and posted on the website. So if there's anything you miss, you'll be able to come back and look at that, as well as the slideshow itself. And we'll also have some time at the end for questions. So this is a webinar format, so we actually can't see you, but you will be able to ask questions in the Q&A section at the bottom, I believe. So feel free as those come up, and we'll address those questions at the end. So to start off, what is social emotional learning, or SEL? So if you hear that acronym, that's what we're talking about. I'm going to read at you a little bit here. So by definition, this is from Character Strong. SEL, it's an intentional focus by schools to ensure students have access to the experiences and supports they need to be socially and emotionally well, and also to acquire the necessary skills that serve their future success. So kind of working on some of these soft skills, these relational skills, and these kind of like personal coping skills that we don't always get to address in the classroom. And our primary SEL competencies, you can see those listed over here on the right. We have self-management, responsible decision-making, skills to regulate emotions, resilience, goal setting, and strategies to resolve conflict. So those are all different areas that the SEL curriculum is going to focus on and allow students to develop within. Here's some data here. So, what does the data tell us? Why do we need SEL? First of all, a sense of belonging in school is one of the most important conditions for learning and a fundamental support for social and emotional well-being. You can see here nearly 1/3 of all students report a weak sense of belonging in their schools. Roughly half of 6th to 12th graders said they don't enjoy coming to school most of the time. So that's one of the issues we're trying to resolve here by giving students these opportunities. Mental health challenges for teens have been increasing. And about 7 out of 10 teens in the US between 13 and 17 years old have named anxiety or depression as a major problem among their peers. And student engagement really drives learning and supports school success. That's what we're hoping to do here. So we know these issues are going on. The more we can get students engaged in their school community, the more we're going to be able to tackle these issues, and we're going to see student success in other areas as well. Why do we need SEL? We have a few different reasons here, along with some pictures of our students participating in SEL lessons at our site. We work on social emotional skills. They're the best predictor of young people going on to live healthy and fulfilling self-sufficient lives as adults. It increases engagement. When educators intentionally work towards each student feeling like they belong in school, students are more likely to engage. And we see that, and at the end we'll show a video with some students talking about their experience and teachers talking about their experience. And that is something we're really hearing a lot of, is when students get a chance to engage in these kinds of lessons, it increases the engagement throughout the rest of their day. And finally, it really does just improve school culture. So, this is a long-term effort here, but we're already seeing some of the improvements, but this is something to build upon year after year, giving students the opportunity to share their experiences and their emotions in the classroom with their teachers, with their peers. It really builds the positive school culture that we're trying to build at UMS. I'm going to turn it over here to Randy.
Perfect. So MTSS stands for Multi-Tiered Systems of Support, and this system demonstrates tiered levels of service, and it started in the health industry. And as in the health industry, if the bottom tier would be something that people do to stay healthy, wash hands, sneeze into an elbow. When people get sick and they require more services, they get to the next tier, which would be perhaps taking medicine, perhaps seeing a doctor. And the final tier of support would be something more serious, to see a specialist, perhaps surgery. And so we use the same system in our education system, where every student receives the bottom tier, which is preventative, proactive, and this is where our social emotional learning curriculum and content lands. And we always go back to when no matter what level of tier a student is at, everyone gets the basis of support to guarantee that we are ensuring that all learning is fluid and all of our systems support one another, including teachers and staff.
Hi, everyone. So a little bit about how and why we chose Character Strong for Union Middle School. Character Strong is a widely used curriculum that we've received positive feedback from, both from the staff that were involved in our pilot last year, as well as from the other school sites that are currently using Character Strong as well. It is a research-based program, so it is backed in the data in SEL, psychology, as well as adolescent development. The program was created with both teachers and students to ensure that the lessons are relevant and engaging, and it's also constantly updated just to ensure that, you know, some of the aspects of the lessons ring true for the students in their day-to-day lives and the things they're talking about with their peers. Character Strong is a comprehensive curriculum that was specifically designed for middle school students that weaves together social emotional learning and character development and community building to create a classroom experience that is engaging and culture shifting for a whole school. Through the use of Character Strong, you know, here at our site, we believe that we have an opportunity to help our children learn the values of empathy, service, and connection. So along with strong academics, our goal is to teach our students to become compassionate and capable people, and also empower them to be the best versions of themselves. And we know that when students feel safe and supported at school, they perform better and they act with more kindness, and they really just want to show up at school each day. Just to note, Character Strong is not a therapeutic program. It's not a mental health intervention. It is a character education program that weaves together strong instruction with intentional relationship building techniques. So here's just a brief video from Character Strong highlighting some of the key components of their curriculum.
If you're looking at Character Strong as an educator, an administrator, a family member, or a student, you probably care about the answer to at least one of these three questions. Is it relevant and engaging? Is it backed by research? Is it doable, manageable in my day-to-day reality? That's how Character Strong thinks about this work. We aim to create curricula and trainings that are relevant, informed by research, and that meet the realities of schools and students today. How do we do it? We bring students to the table to help us build content with their voice at the center. We invite their wisdom to help guide what is being taught and inform everything from the questions that get asked to the videos that we produce. If it's going to be delivered to students, it should be created alongside students. We look to what modern research tells us about social and emotional skills. Our content is guided by the expertise of Dr. Clayton Cook and Dr. Brian Smith, each with a long history in the research and development of lessons and professional learning that have real impact. We aim our work at three primary outcomes: improved well-being, an increased sense of belonging, and elevated engagement in academics and in school. Three things that the research say are both necessary and attainable. And we work alongside educators around the world to build tools and lessons that meet needs. Content that will be taught by educators should be built alongside educators. So we create curricula and trainings that are low burden, but high impact. We make things that are intuitive and flexible with plenty of supports built in to make sure you have everything you need to do this work with enthusiasm and not anxiety. In order to equip ourselves and our students with the tools we know will help us and them thrive in today's complicated world, we must live right in the middle of of relevance, research, and reality. So, see you in the center.
So it was talked about a little bit in the video, but at the core of each Character Strong lesson are the 5 basic SEL competencies, which you can see here on the left side of the first graphic under knowing and doing. So the research has shown us that focusing on these 5 competencies, which are emotion, understanding, empathy, values, goals, and leadership, we will foster 3 overall main outcomes, which is an increased sense of belonging for all students, improving skills that support student well-being, and deepening student engagement in their academics, in their school, and in their community. One of the key parts of nearly every lesson is what is called the Character Dare. And so these are invitations that take place near the end of most all Character Strong lessons, which basically just invite the student to put into action what they are learning in the real world and in their day-to-day lives. So if you as a parent ever want to be involved in the Character Strong curriculum, you can simply ask your student at home what the most recent Character Dare was for that week's lesson. Okay, so these 3 outcomes you can see here are seen across the curriculum overall. However, each grade level focuses their lessons on one primary theme for the school year. So our 6th graders are focusing on belonging. How can we create a place where everyone feels like they belong? Our 7th graders are focusing on well-being. How do I develop personal well-being, and how does it affect our relationships with others? And our 8th graders are focusing on engagement. How do we practice engaging meaningfully in our lives, our friendships, and in our schools? Okay, and the character development portion of Character Strong focuses on these 8 essentials that you see here. So we have kindness, humility, respect, honesty, commitment, selflessness, patience, and forgiveness. So those character dares that I mentioned earlier align with each of these essentials. So an example dare would be for selflessness. The students are dared to take on someone else's chore today at home without telling them. So really just very easy, attainable, actionable dares that the students can put into place what they're learning and talking about with their classmates and teachers on a day-to-day basis at home with their family. All right. So we have some time for questions. We also have a video of some of our UMS students and staff talking about their feedback and just what they've observed with the curriculum thus far. There's also a way for families who are interested in reviewing the curriculum and the content in greater depth to sign up for what is called Family Access. So that link right there, which we will share out when the slides are posted on our website, can be accessed by parents who would like to preview the content more in depth on their own time.
So should we take a look? We don't have any questions right this minute that we can answer live.
Well, and as a parent of a former middle school student at Dartmouth and 2 other teen daughters, I've been in the union classrooms along with Taylor and have watched lessons. And I was so impressed with how engaged the adults were with the students, how relaxed the students were, and just beyond the social emotional learning, some of the skills that I saw being taught were presentation skills, public speaking, conflict resolution, really some really good skills that we need in all aspects of learning and in life. And so I was really impressed to see the program, and I really do hope it spreads throughout our district.
We have a question. So the social emotional learning, the Character Strong lessons are being delivered in all of our social studies classrooms.
And then maybe Taylor, could you break it down a little bit? Like, does it happen once a week? Does it rotate? Is it for only special occasions? Maybe just kind of get an idea of what it looks like for the student.
So on average, the lessons are happening on a weekly basis. Of course, sometimes things come up and there may be a week or two where a student doesn't receive a lesson, but there are 35 lessons in total that will be delivered over the course of the school year. So each lesson does build upon each other. And, it's our hope that as we continue with Character Strong, our sixth graders that have had it will be familiar with it when they go into seventh grade. And so they will have those foundational skills of the curriculum and the content to really engage in a deep and meaningful way and what's being presented to them at that time. But yes, so it does take place in our social studies classrooms on average on a weekly basis. The lessons range anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, give or take. There's a lot of opportunities for students to peer share. There's also an opportunity for teachers to share with their students. So not only are the students getting to know, their classmates and maybe another student that they might not talk to, at break or lunch, or they've never had a class with before, they're also getting to know their teachers and kind of build that relationship therein as well.
So should we go ahead and check out the video and then we can come back if there's more questions? We'll leave the questions open there and maybe we'll take a moment now to check out. We brought in some students and some teachers who have experience with Character Strong. Just to kind of talk with you a little bit about their experience, because we could tell you that all these great things are happening, but I think it's even more impactful to hear it from the students and the teachers themselves. So here's a little short video.
Hi, I'm Chelsea and I'm in 7th grade.
And I'm Quinn and I'm in 7th grade.
On Wednesday mornings, whenever it's time to go do Character Strong, I get really excited because the Character Strong lessons are really fun and they're different from the other classes.
Yeah, I like it because we get to learn about how we should act in front of people and how we should treat people with other values and all that stuff. I think it's really fun too.
Hi, my name is Jackie and I'm in 8th grade. I felt that Character Strong really helps me learn more about my classmates and about myself.
My name is Cole Hansen and I'm in 7th grade. I feel like they're really fun. We get to do all these cool different activities and we get to learn while we're doing them.
Hi, my name is Chaitanya Vinod and I'm 8th grade. I've enjoyed the classes that we do because every week we have a main idea that we discuss. I have known about the topics, but I've never really had the time to think about it or just discuss them.
Hi, my name is Amarali and I'm in the 7th grade at Union Middle School. They're pretty fun and I feel like they help out a lot with leadership skills overall, and they help out with making friends kind of because
One thing that I like about Character Strong is it's a great opportunity for me to really get to know my teacher and my other classmates. Character Strong lessons have really gotten me thinking about things that I never thought about before we did Character Strong, like things that are important to me and different values that are important and how to treat people with respect.
I like that we get to share our personalities with each other and get to know each other more and share some personal scenarios and how to overcome them.
I have learned about new things that we've not discussed before, or I just learned about my table mates, what they like, their priorities, their opinions. I've also learned about some of the things about myself that I've
I liked the one where it was you had to put up how many fingers this thing is important to you, like how important is that you feel safe in your school, or how important teen stress is to you, and you have to put up 1 through 5. Sounds fun because you've got to know how important other things are.
One of the lessons was some of our dreams or past experiences and how we got through them, and I really reflected on that and who helped me do stuff.
probably that all people make mistakes, and mistakes are normal, that you can learn from them. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kirsten Utley and I teach 7th grade social studies here at Union Middle School. So far we've had a really positive experience with the Character Strong curriculum. I think it's making a great impact on our students and it gets them to be reflective about themselves.
My name's Abe Goldman. I was in the pilot for Character Strong last year with my Thrive 7th grade class. My experience with the Character Strong curriculum is that I noticed students that I did not think were going to be interested in the content seemed more interested.
Hi, I'm Candy Camperman, and I am a 6th grade ELA Social Studies teacher at Union Middle School. I love Character Strong. Character Strong has really been a positive asset to our class. Character Strong has really allowed them to kind of branch out, and it has brought a lot of community just within our classroom.
I think one way in particular is that it's really helping them build connection to their peers within the classroom, but overall a greater sense of community at Union Middle School this year.
I think as students start sharing more in class, then the other sharing in class gets easier.
One activity that I think was really positive for the students was an activity called Community Agreements, in which as a class we had to decide what are our top 3 priorities for the year, and we narrowed it down to respecting each other's differences, which I really liked that every student in the room agreed to that one. Another one they agreed to was that mistakes are expected, and that because they're expected, we just accept them and we can learn from those experiences and move on.
So Character Strong, every week they give the students an assignment to kind of go out, branch out, and talk to new people. Last week, their assignment was to go find an adult on campus that they don't have as a teacher and to interview them, to get to know them a little better. And we had such good feedback. We had teachers coming over to our classes telling us how polite and how kind and how fun it was to talk to the 6th graders and to get them to know them for maybe next year if they're in their class. They asked them questions about their family life and their hobbies and how long have they been teaching. My kids came back all excited and ready to share who they got to know and who the other kids should go introduce themselves to.
Like I had to leave the little piano, let it finish. Oh, there we go. I really like that last story too. You know, if you're a parent of a 6th grader, I've taught 6th grade, we know how important it is for 6th graders to become a part of the wider school community. You know, they're not as familiar with the different teachers, the different adults on campus, and they might not have those relationships built up. So I think a process like this, where students get to connect with other adults on campus, is really powerful.
And I think to answer the question that we have posed to us about is there a relatable curriculum in high school? And you know, the beauty of our district is that we have grades from TK through 8th grade, and we have a pretty intensive SEL curriculum from TK to 8th grade. But what the high schools have been doing, they're doing it well, is they have wellness centers and they have staff centers. And Taylor, are you aware of some of the things that your peers at the high school are doing? It's a drop-in center, and it's open to all students, and they really take kind of the best skills that kids have and they work together. So if you could just speak a couple seconds about what the high school kids have to look forward to.
Yeah, so Lee, as you may know, if you are a Lee parent as well, Lee has just completed a remodel. And so a part of that is they do have an all new wellness center that is open to all students. I've been there, it's very relaxing, very calming. They have a lot of resources that students like to use if they're, needing support. They have fidgets, stress balls, and there's also people available on site for the students to talk to if they're needing support in that moment.
So I think it's a perfect continuation for the mature, almost soon to be adult to be able to go in and start making connections with the language and the skills that they've learned here in our district.
Great. All right. Well, should we leave? If anybody else would like to ask any more questions, we have time to take questions. Otherwise, like we said at the beginning, this presentation, both the video and the slideshow, will be posted online on our school website. And other than that, we thank you all for coming. We thank you for taking an interest in Character Strong and what we're doing with SEL over at UMS. We're really excited about it. We're looking forward to the impact that it's having and is going to continue to have.
And for those that, may come up with questions later after we leave, you're welcome to email me The other school counselor at our site is Amaret Luke. She works with students with the last names A through L. I work with students with the last names M through Z, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you have about Character Strong, and just why we think SEL is such a great resource for our students to have access to at school.
And I like to thank Nick and Taylor, because they are just a shining example of the wonderful people at Union Middle School and how much they care for one another and the students and the families. And they truly believe in making every moment special for your children. And so thank you, Taylor, and thank you, Nick, for always putting so much heart and love into what you do.
Thanks, Randy. We appreciate it. All right. Thank you, parents. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday night. And again, thank you for coming.